you have to burn more wood than coal to make the same amount of electricity, that the amount of pollution that comes out of the smokestack is up to 50% more. And we also learned that there's a type of particle that comes out of the smokestack that's now referred to as microfine or ultrafine. And these really, really tiny particles cannot be scrubbed out of the smokestack. There's no filter that can capture them. They're tinier than anything you can imagine. They're so tiny that when you breathe them in, they cross the blood-brain barrier. They can lodge permanently in your lungs, lodge permanently in your brain. And death had been recorded within 24 hours of people having to breathe this type of pollutant. So in addition to the sulfur dioxide, nitrogen nitroxide that Jackie alluded to earlier, which are known to cause asthma and respiratory problems and even heart disease, this ultrafine particle is now being looked at by the medical community as possibly being the reason why we have a nationwide rise in asthma. And all of us that deal with health issues in the African American community, we already know that our people suffer from I think black men suffer from a rate of asthma that's something like 5 times higher than Caucasian Americans, and similar death rates, it's 2 to 3 to 5 times higher than for the Caucasian Americans. When Robert Bullard, who is our nation's expert on environmental justice issues, and he's at Clark Atlanta University in our home state, so we had access to him directly. He was so gracious on this biomass issue. He looked at the state of Georgia and he determined where these biomass plants were located, and he found that 75% of them were being put in African American communities. And we all know Georgia has a very large black population. I think we have about 30–35%, but that's not enough to control the state at the legislature level. In our county, we have 3 county commissioners, one of whom is black, and so the other 2 people on the county commission, they can always vote to override her. And so whatever they want to do, they do. So they put these things in the black community. So Georgia's very gracious in saying that it was the white people who went out and fought. What we did was we got our college kids, and they were able to come out and protest because they didn't have jobs yet. They didn't have that place in the community that they could get retribution from an employer or something of that nature. But it was Dr. Angela Manning's church members that went out. They came and they approached the city council. We showed them the petitions. They were the largest and most powerful families in Valdosta that had been in the black community for years and years and years and developed incredible respect and reputations in our community. And we kept showing that, and then we brought Dr. Bullard's work in, and then the white kids and me and George were at the protests, and this ended up having an effect. Even though they told us it was a done deal, done deal, done deal, it ended up after a year, we drove the Industrial Authority director out of town. He went to Myrtle Beach. And then we stopped the biomass incinerator, and the Industrial Authority said, if y'all come and build anything, you cannot build a biomass incinerator. So it was a victory.
Amen.